Okay, so we've briefly talked about cross multiplication, but I wanted to make a video explaining how cross multiplication works and I guess a few different ways that you can use it. Let's take a look at this question first. First of all, cross multiplication works in a very particular instance. It works where there's a fraction, x over 4, equal to another fraction. So a fraction on one side, a fraction on the other side. That's the only time when you're going to use cross multiplication. Now, as I mentioned previously, the way that cross multiplication works is you can move anything you like as long as you move it along these diagonal arrows. Okay, so that means that the x can move from here down to here, the 2 can move from here up to there, the 4 can move from down here up to there, and the 5 can move from there to there. Now, usually with algebra, your goal is to get x by itself. So to get x by itself, we need to get rid of this 4, and we'll do that by moving the 4 from here up to here. So it's going to be x equals 5. Now, when you move the 4, it becomes a multiply, so it's 5 times 4 divided by 2. Now that gives you 20 over 2. That's what x is equal to. And you can simplify that, and you can say that x is equal to 10. So that's a quick example of cross multiplication. And now here we have a more complicated version. 3 over x equals 2 over 4. Now again, things can only move along these diagonal lines. But in this case, you need to think about two things. Yes, we need to get x by itself, but we also need to get x to the top. So it's going to be everything's going to be moving here, or just about everything. So x is going to move from here up to the top of that fraction. Now, while that's happening, I'm going to take 2 from here and move it to the bottom of this fraction. Now 3 is going to stay where it is. 3 is going to stay exactly there. And finally, I'm going to move 4 from the bottom of this fraction up to the top of this fraction. Okay, you can see there's nothing on the bottom of that x fraction, or there is 1, I suppose. Now it's just a case of doing the maths. 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2. So x equals 6. So there's a more complicated version of cross multiplication where you've had to move x to the top as well as moving everything around. And one last example here before we finish off. Now again, you can see it's a fraction equal to another fraction, so we can use cross multiplication. Everything has to move along these arrows. And the goal is to get x by itself and on the top. So the x can move from here up to this side. Okay, I'll just put my fraction lines here. X can move from the bottom up to the top on the other side. 4 can move from the top down to the bottom on this side. 8 can stay where it is. And the 5 will move from the bottom here up to the top there. After that, it's just a matter of doing the maths. 8 times 5 is 40, 40 over 4. So x equals 40 divided by 4, which is 10. That's 3 quick examples of cross multiplication. You can use cross multiplication in a whole variety of different algebraic questions.